24 hours. If your neighbor does more with the same 24, gotta ask yourself, what is your power? Or you living for the struggle or honor? Shit'll make a nigga summon four fathers. I'm just thankful that my mother brought father. Should've brung a double dozen more flowers. Uppers or downers, blood of pure sour. Smoking through my last 24 hours. Same sun and moon, tug of war drama. Feel the tears look above and saw showers. I just wish I had 100 more hours. God's generous, but 24's modest. What we got a budget for? Can I borrow some of yours? Spend it quick as $24. Gone faster than my mother's wall chowder. I could feel a tender love and pure power. His 24, her 24, big 24, wish 24 hours. Would you trade your money for hours? Trade your hours for a couple more commas. First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night.
Oakland.
I'm just narrating what I see inside. Think of my creator, I can read and write.
Philly.
Stumble on my path, I think I need to ride. Struggle in the sadness, bring my evil side. Swallowing my ego and I eat my pride. Fighting to the end until I see the light. All I got is day and night. Right? Night is dark, day is light. I say good morning, then I say good night. Day and night, my only options in the game of life. Play the dice, you lose both if you don't pay the price. Night is black, and day is white, kind of racial right. Sundial, it's made of ice like a glacier might. Calibrated the way I like, count to 24-hour hand. Rotated twice, day and change the night. Mother Nature and Father Time had a baby and they named it Christ. Their only son, I hope they raise him right. Daughter too, her name is Luna, but they ain't alike when sun is down. You see her rising to her greatest height. Feel like E.T. on his flying, levitating bike. You'll see my shadow on the moon, cause I was taking flight. Living like I made a shine. Yeah. First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night. I'm just narrating what I see inside. Think of my creator, I can read and write. Stumble on my path, I think I need a ride. Struggle in the sadness, bring my evil side. Swallowing my ego and I eat my pride. Fighting to the end until I see the pride.
I'm mad if you ain't at my weight. In a race, blasting faith and some past the mace. Throwing bricks wrapped in masking tape. Kick me from the fifth down to Astor Place. Let me see the grin on the bastard's face. I'm coming from the kin of the master race. Next to Nipsey in the master's race. I know the code, so I cracked the safe. Bury me with Sadie in his casket late. And we own her, so our master's safe. Bury me in polo with a gat on waist. Victory is sweet, I need the aftertaste.
First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night. I'm just narrating what I see inside. Think of my creator, I can read and write. Stumble on my path, I think I need a ride. Struggle in the sadness, bring my evil side. Swallowing my ego and I eat my pride. Fighting to the end until I see the pride.
Boo, boo, boo. Alright, hold on. Give me a minute though. We're gonna have to rent something else for the good doctor of his transition. Alright, today is his anniversary. We gotta say big up to the OG. Big up to the doc. Big up to Baba. Right? We have some music with Dr. Sabi. I'm looking for it real quick. Give me a minute. We gotta bless the broadcast with his vibrations, with his words. Goddamn. I know it was so many damn videos. No. Iron Man. Hold on, y'all. Y'all all right? Let's see where that's at. Oh. Hmm. I don't know where it's at right now, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it before the end of the show. That I know. All right. His voice though.
And will you have more products for children? Because at the moment there's only Banjo.
Oh, the Banjo is a very good product.
Will you have more products for children?
Oh, yes, we do.
Which other products
Well, we have the iron is for children.
Oh, Iron Plus.
But we make children products specially for them.
Yes.
Yeah, specifically for them.
All right, we're gonna get back to Dr. Shaby. That hurts. Every time I hear his voice, it's just, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, we in the building, y'all. Love and light to the family. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. This is episode Black August. All right, this is the Black August episode. We are paying homage to the spirit of Garvey, right? We're paying homage to Dr. Sebi. We're paying homage to the powerful energy that's on this planet. You know, Panther energy, Garvey energy, RBG energy, you know, Black Power energy, Jason energy on the Jason months. Black August is very significant for my brothers and sisters that are on the fight. Especially my brothers who represent the RBG Nation, the Pan-Africans and whatnot. I remember in 2003, I was enlightened. I went to an event. It was Dead Presidents, Alikes, Duo Live, Erica Badu, and a few other conscious artists and whatnot. I believe Dead Prez might have been there. I think Talib and Kweli might have been there as well. If not, it was Most Def in the building. And this was in Brooklyn. And it blew my mind away because I was never in a venue with what I deemed conscious people back in those days. That wasn't even a term for them, right? But I was in the building and I got to witness a version of consciousness that I had never saw before. And that was an iteration of, you know, freedom fighter, but they were revolutionary but gangster, right? Revolutionary. They were my age, right, at that time, and they were unequivocally hip hop. Everyone in the audience was unequivocally hip hop, right? Hip hop inspired, but they were conscious or they were aware. And I was like, wow, I never seen nothing like that. And it opened up my eyes. And, you know, when I saw that, I tell everybody the story. I cried that evening. I cried tears of joy. I wasn't boo-hooing and whatnot. I cried. Tears were running down my face. I was watching Erica Badu perform. It went so far to whereas I called my mother, who was living in Harlem at that time, and told her, get in the cab. I got you. I wanted her to witness this. I wanted her to see the venue from the way that I saw it in 2003. Think about this was right after the towers fell. And there wasn't a community that was conducive to where I was at that time on my frequency, because I was very hip hop at that moment. I was very much in the streets, and I had like ADD. I could not sit in a lecture with mad older people or elders and whatnot. I was like, you know, I was moving too much. I couldn't sit still. You know what I mean? Like the COVID lockdown would have killed me in 03. I would not been able to stay home by myself, to my ego, to my psyche, to my spirit. I was a mover and shaker. I was a jet setter at that time. I was moving too fast. I was partying every single night. My mama would tell you. She knows about this. And when I went to that venue with all of these, the brothers had locks, the sisters had locks. They were smelling like patchouli. Erica Badu lit an incense on the stage. She was drinking great Earl Grey tea, and they was hitting the singing bowl. I was like, that shit was like a baptism to me. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? All of my demons and my jinns were jumping out of my body. It was like a baptism. I was converted that day, right? I was converted in my mind that day. I was like, nah, this is what I want to live. You know, I want to be a part of this community. Whatever the fuck this is, I think I could function in this environment. You know what I mean? You know, because I wasn't really a big fan of the Hotepen at that point. You know, I wasn't a big fan of it. I let people know that all the time. You know what I mean? I didn't believe the stories. I didn't believe in. I didn't think that they were living an opulent lifestyle. I didn't see the wealth in it. You know, I thought that there was like haters in those environments. You know what I mean? And I felt like they were judging me. So a lot of people these days, when they look at the communities or the community, I understand if they have dispositions towards it, because when you're in your ignorant mind, you come up with all kind of excuses. I'm here to say that I was ignorant as fuck. Pardon my French. I was very asleep. You know what I'm talking about? But I was a visionary. So I took that vision and I ran to the visiting floor to see A.A. Rashid. I remember going to I think it was up north. I forgot what prison he was in. But I ran to see the brother on the visiting floor, you know, just to share my idea and my vision with him, because he's a person that, you know, throughout the years, we would always share visions and whatnot. We're visionaries, especially we both Scorpios and whatnot. And I could talk to him about certain things because he would be able to entertain it and then add his vision to it, right? So I was like, yo, son, the possibilities of a community where we can function, right, and be accepted and be able to learn and teach, that possibility exists because I saw it at a Black August concert, right? Like I said, I brought my mama. She was there like 2 in the morning. You know, Erica Badu comes on late. She's not, you know, she don't come on time all of the time. So I'm holding my mother's hand. The sisters, she got I think the patchouli incense was burning. She got to singing her songs, and I start crying like a baby. And the crying in hindsight was me saying, you know what? I found me a home. I could hang up. You know, I could hang up whatever I was holding on to, because I feel like I'm safe. I feel like I'm gonna be saved, right? And look how the ancestors work in our favor. Look how the great divine is always conspiring to do what? To help you succeed. This was in 2003, 2 years later, right? The same brothers that I was on stage watching, right? Same exact brothers that I was impressed with their performance, their stage presence. I was like, these brothers is on some conscious gangster shit. Like, I could get with that. That's the type of energy that I could get with. I'm feeling these brothers. These brothers' names are Duo Live out of Bed-Stuy, DJ Sid V, my dude Free, the MC, and they also had a whole team with them. Blaze, Fire Vibes, who went by the name of Udi. At that point, Surge, my dude Surge. Who else? We had it was a lot of them. Tory, Blaze. It was a bunch of us. Breeze. And 2 years later, right? 2 years later, I'm in Miami and we all living in the same spot, right? 2 years later, right? And that wasn't planned. That just was the way that the ancestors worked it out. You know what I'm talking about? And they answered my call. And then that same year, I'm gonna show you the house right now on my phone. Give me a second. Because I be talking about when I lived in Miami, but when I went to Miami the last time, I went on the block, which is 44th Avenue. I didn't even realize that at the time. I was living on North 44th, right there in the design district near what they know as Little Haiti, right? And this is also a disclaimer that there was a bad storm in this area. They knocked down all kind of trees the morning that I was doing Melanin Tuesday. That morning, the trees that got knocked down. Look crazy, bro. It looked crazy. It looked like Beirut out this thing. You know what I'm talking about? It did. It looked bonkers. And if the internet gets bad, it's mainly because of that. Okay? It's because of the signal. I'm on I'm on a hot spot. Then I'm on another router. Like, we working real hard to keep the internet going right now because there was a blackout for there was a blackout Monday night when I came home, and that was before the storm. And then on Tuesday, the goddamn tree fell on the light pole and knocked down all of the wires. So yeah, we've been going through it. It didn't affect the house that I'm in, but it has affected the area to whereas when I wanted to go to Whole Foods, we were blocked in. We had to take 3 or 4 routes to get off of the block. You know what I'm talking about? They got big ass trees laying in the middle of the road and whatnot. So I'm saying all of that to say my Black August experience. Everybody may have, some people be like, what the hell is a Black August? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Black August? Like, what are you talking about, Red Pill? Black August is dedicated to the political prisoners. The event that I was in attendance, that event was to highlight the political prisoners. That event was to pay homage to George Jackson. That event was to pay homage to the Soledad brothers. That event was to pay homage to Mumia and to all of the Shakurs. Afeni Shakur, Matulu Shakur. I'm talking about the real freedom fighters, not these woke niggas, not the people who was out there getting spit on and smacked up and whatnot. No offense to niggas civil rights leaders and whatnot. I ain't talking about them. No offense to them. Real talk. You know, no shade. But they wasn't spitting on the people that I'm talking about. They wasn't giving them swift kicks and whatnot. They wasn't back smacking them with open hands and whatnot. They wasn't manhandling these individuals. These individuals was bucking back. I'm talking about they was fighting back. They was running up in banks and cleaning them out. I'm just giving you a skinny of what was going on when you wasn't when you probably wasn't even alive. And for the ones that were alive, you know what I'm talking about. So the woke industry or the woke community in the 60s was John Lewis, Jesse, Messy Jackson, that's his name, Messy Jesse. Those were the wokester jokesters. A lot of the people who was mad passive, right? Mad passive, okay? Letting a lot of things happen to them, and it was a plan to let those things happen. That was something that they planned. It was like, yo, we're gonna get wild up on film. We're gonna get roughed up. We're gonna get manhandled on camera, and as a result of that, we're gonna shame them for roughing us up. We're gonna shame them for spitting on us. And the BGA, the Black Gorilla family, yeah, Al Sharpton, the Black Gorilla family, BGF, Junior Mafia out of Philly, brothers and sisters out of the El Rukin, Jeff Fort, and all of them, brothers out of the nation, right? They wasn't going for that. They approached the issues that they had with society from a different angle. So they would be considered what people nowadays call the conscious community. I don't even know what that means anymore. Because, yeah, Negroes done messed it up. But, you know, people always sit back and talk slick about it, but continuously plug into it and feed off of it. And really, that's what made them kind of relevant. So, you know, it is what it is. If you see that it's messed up, nigga, do something to clean it up. That's like saying that your front porch in your yard in your neighborhood is a piece of shit, but you won't break out a broom to put in some work. You're supposed to be the clean glass amongst the dirt. We know that there's dirty glass. We know half of a majority of the community is a dirty glass, right? But at the end of the day, this is not church. Nobody is here to be worshipped. This is about information. And to be honest with you, even with the goofy niggas in this community, you'll still learn for them. You'll learn not to be goofy like them. You'll learn not to make the mistakes that they be making. There's things to learn in this ordeal. But this community, right? This community, and there are definitely levels to this consciousness. Mad different levels. There's levels to this thing right here. Thank you for even saying that, right? I believe that was a sister that said that. It's mad levels to it. So you still got to identify what level that you're on. You know, you could be in it and not of it. Nobody. And what you learn in this newest iteration of consciousness that you probably did not learn when everybody was joining organizations and whatnot. They was locked into these organizations and they were dealing with focusing on man, right? And his different limits, right? His flaws. You didn't learn individuality too much in those organizations. You was out there worshiping man. You was calling a man father, and that's not your daddy. You know what I'm talking about? You was looking up to another man like he's the big homie. Like he, you know, like he alone could teach you, you know, how to be a god. When we all know that nobody could do that for you but you. We all know that you can't go. How you gonna go into an organization that got a hierarchy? Shit got a ladder and whatnot. You want to be the man, but you can't. You gotta wait your turn. You can't even express yourself. What are you telling me? That's freedom? You saying that that's lit? Are you saying that you're gonna find out who you truly are by being in those circumstances? I'm here to say emphatically no. What I'm saying is this community has allowed individuals, if they wish to take a personal toll on who they are and who they're not, right? And to be very responsible for their shortcomings, their victories, their wins and their losses. You could change your name. You could become anybody you want. I mean, it's an open field, my friends. You feel me? All right, here we go. I'm doing all of this to look. Here goes the spot that I used to live in. Northeast 44th Street. And they go to Mini Mansion. The boy was living good in Miami. Hold on.
Remember when I was giving y'all the history about the house that I used to live in? This is it right here.
Yeah, Tony Montana.
The mini mansion.
Tony Montana. Tony Montana.
This is where I formulated my mind before I came to Harlem and became the Red Pill. Peace.
That's it. Yeah, it's part of my story. Because I was in Miami in 2005, formulating, right? You know what formulating means? That means defocalizing, right? Sometimes people are in a hot room. Sometimes people are in a cold room. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for supporting. I appreciate you. Sometimes, yeah, American Gods told us you could be however you want in America. Thank you. That's why I have the America God series. I'm up to number 4, right? Because I'm showing you that, especially in America, for some reason, more so than anywhere else on this planet, you can be who you want to be. And that's before the internet. That's before avatars and whatnot. You could tap into the fantasy industry, right? You could tap into the fantasy industry and cosplay. You could tap into the fantasy industry, and one of your ideas or your creations that you created in your mind, you could put it on a piece of paper, right? Or you could animate it, and you could create the next Scooby Dooby Doo. You could create the next Snoopy. You could create the next Darth Vader. You could create the next Luke Skywalker. I'm throwing names out there. You could create the next Laura Croft, Dora the Explorer. Remember, the fantasy industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Okay, let's not forget that. The fantasy industry. That's your comic books. That's the movies. That's your music. Look, I just watched Officer Rick Ross wash up 2 Chainz with Big Willie, drug dealer, Miami. You know what I'm saying? Boss, right? Plug music. That nigga was washing them up with plug music. This nigga's an officer. Okay. He used to be correction officer. So we saw Officer Ricky just a little while ago on the Versus washing up 2 Chainz. But shout out to 2 Chainz because he's a beast. You could be anything that you want in America. That's what I'm saying. And if you're in places like Miami with a grid, the magnetic grid, the magnetic field, right? Because of the water, because of the tropics, because the fact that there's pieces of Africa underneath Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, right? Meaning that Florida, Georgia, and Africa is connected. It is part of Africa. Go and look it up. Don't take my word for it, right? These are magical places, meaning that when you stand on there, it doesn't feel when you stand on the land, right? The land like the red clay and whatnot, it don't feel the same as when you're standing on the East Coast. Especially places like Miami and the Everglades and whatnot. I don't even think that I'm in America when I'm there. So it's so magnetic that you could go there and you could tap in through meditation, right? Being very still, because that's what I had to learn in the year of 2005. I had to learn how to be still because prior to that, I was not still. My trip to Miami saved my life. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I would still be here if I stayed in New York from 03 and on, right? You know what I'm talking about? I had that ordeal with TT and my ex-girlfriend, and I don't know what would have become of me. You know what I'm talking about? I would have probably started drifting in them streets and whatnot. And I don't know. I probably would have stayed in that relationship and it wouldn't have been a good look. You know what I'm saying? In 2020. I might have had 8 wives by this point, you know, and been completely off code. So Miami was a saving grace. It is a saving grace. Blue Pill will tell you when we go to places like Miami, it's so beneficial to our DNA that our mother will call us and be like, don't come home. We'd be like, what you mean, Mom? She'd be like, don't come home. You need to stay where you at. That sun is good for you. You know, stay right there. Soak it up. I soaked it up. Let me bring in my guest for tonight because, you know, why reminisce by myself? So without any further ado, I am opening up the line for the Blue Pillar.
Peace to the God. Peace, love, and light.
Peace to the God. I like that get up. Yeah, that's nice. You on that good purple.
It's
Red
a
and blue
Jupiter
purple
day.
like Prince.
Yeah. Red and blue purple like Prince. It's a Jupiter day. So, you know, I coordinate my drip to the planetary days as
As
I
you
was
should.
instructed to do, yes, by Baba Heru.
What's
You know,
that
so
wrist
we could.
looking like? What's that wrist looking like?
Oh, the
Okay.
different. My drip different. Yeah, you know, hold on. You know, my drip is coordinated with the planets as well.
Okay. Look black to me.
It's important. Nobody speaks about the healing component, you know, of drip, right? Or beautifying your being. You know what I'm saying? And coordinating it, you know, not only with the stones that have their own particular properties, but color coordination, all of these things that work towards a euphoric feeling. I'm talking about.
That's right.
Look, I've been on my Sabi marathon all day. I paused for a rosé second. And I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I've been on my Sabi wave listening to KTL Archive. We have classic material with Dr. Sabi that the world has not heard. And I think while they await the documentary, you know, I remember my intent. You know, everything, I can speak for myself only, but majority of the shows that I produced and put together on KTL, they had intent and purpose. I would consult the oracles. I would either holler at the cosmophysicians, or I would look at the dates and the alignments, or I would coincide it with the news narrative of the moment.
Don't forget Destiny Grind with the I Ching.
Yes, Destiny Grind would do their readings. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of different ways that we would gauge certain things. And I remember specifically, you know, one of the reasons that we started Know the Ledge was we wanted to expose a younger generation to the master teachers who were asking for exposure to a younger generation. There was two,
I just wanted to add on the way that just to show you, because the family is from they've been here with me, so they understand that I opened up the show reminiscing on a 2003 Black August show that I went to in Brooklyn with Duo Live, Aya Likes, my good man, my Dead Prez family, M1 Stickman, and Erica Badu. The first time I seen her live, and I cried. And what I was sharing was,
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
What I was sharing was the vision that I was able to capture at that event in 03, where I saw a younger audience who were revolutionary but gangster. They were celebrating the political prisoners, but they were doing it to a vibration and a frequency that, Duo Live. Remember,
it was a Black August event?
Yes.
Oh, when the Malcolm X grassroots organization used to throw Black August events.
Yes.
And it would be the illest conscious backpacking. And that's the only place that you can get that power nexus at, because it was spread throughout the rest of the year. You would hear flickerings of it, but consciousness didn't have, you know,
they didn't have a home like that.
They didn't have a home. And I remember, because I interviewed, ironically enough, because I ran into Stickman 2 or 3 days ago in Wadada, and I remember I had interviewed, and then we was can I talk about it, baby? We was looking at me and my lady we was on a YouTube minding our business, and the video came up with Jaguar right? And I mean, she had the tea for the entire. She had the tea for the whole Neo Soul movement. So she was giving context to that time period and talking about the dark side of it. But I remember the light of it is that I had went to a Black August in the same way. I got introduced to the power of Dead Prez, right? In terms of the mindset and the control that they had on the demographic. Hello? You said what? Red. Hmm? I got balls. You? I don't know. Is it his connection or mine? Let me go into the chat, see what's going on. Oh, okay. Red was freezing. That wasn't me. Yeah. So, long story short,
Man, like I said,
yeah. All right.
don't
So I
judge
guess we
me.
back.
It's these trees. The storm came through and knocked everything down.
Nigga said you got Wi-Fi connection, that Wi-Fi.
I got Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so Jaguar Wright was given a lot of backstory and back context to the neo soul movement at that time, right? She was
Oh my
giving
goodness, Jaguar Wright feeling
killing them, right?
Lord have mercy.
But when I seen Dead Prez and I seen their demographic and the connection that they was making with their demographic, I got on my journalistic, approach, and I was like, yo, we need to do a interview. But I remember I went to interview them at their crib when they lived on Nostrand, and Erica came to see M1. So M1 dipped on the interview, and it was only me and Stick. And Stick had to bust a move. So I remember that I had traveled with him. I remember going across the Brooklyn Bridge, and we was traveling doing the interview. And one of the main things he had said to me is like, yo, whatever you do, please don't put me in the newspaper or the magazine as a conscious artist. I do not want to be labeled conscious. You feel me? So that shit was like, yeah, it was an enigma. It was a pariah at that time. Nobody wanted to be under that designation. Remember, Kanye had to come back and save the backpack rappers by merging the worlds, you know what I'm saying, and making it trendy and fashionable. He flipped the backpack into something, palatable, right? Because he designered it out. Yeah.
Yes, remember the cultural reset of the song with Dead Prez and Jay-Z. The Kanye created, right? Kanye, he built a bridge that nobody was crossing over before that. They the quote unquote conscious MCs, the Commons of the world, the Talibs of the world, the Mos Defs of the world. All of these artists were completely marginalized in heavy duty post DMX, post Jay-Z, New York City, post 50 Cent, G Unit. They were not getting no burn like that. So Yeezy leveled it out, and I don't think Dead Prez gets enough props for the conversion or the heavy lifting that they did to modernize consciousness. They don't get credit.
Yo, and like I said, the ill part of it is that I had ran into Stick the other day, and he was, making comments to me about what he observes us doing and how effective we've been in his observation through the years, in particular what he's seen this year, how it comes full circle. So even in my mind earlier today, I was like, damn, I didn't really get a chance to tell him how much I appreciate him, for the duration of work, the body of work, you know what I'm saying? The heavy lifting and the strength that it takes to turn and pivot a paradigm where it could be now in the right trajectory, you know, to end up where it's at today. You feel me? So Dead Prez, and it was a lot of other artists, you know, who remained steadfast, but Kanye don't get the credit, and he won't get the credit. But his relationship with Talib at the time put him in the same circles as Dead Prez. And you know, I'm sure that he already had the plug by way of comment through No ID. But his Talib Kweli relationship put him, you know, in a proximity with Dead Prez, which puts Dead Prez in a proximity of Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Which allows Hov to get into his semi-conscious bag that he been dying to get into. You know what I mean?
Because he does the Roots.
Yeah,
remember he does the Roots Unplugged. That's when Jaguar was popping.
Yeah, that's when she popped. Right?
And yeah, and that was considered to be a cultural reset at that moment. Because those two sounds they didn't really merge in the newest iteration, not with Jay-Z. He was a complete dope rapper at that point. That the cultural reset that represented was
that the yeah.
Was that the who?
Was that the Che Guevara era?
Yeah, that came about around that time.
Yeah. So I say all
that was his first woke T-shirt.
Yeah, I say all that to say that I've been listening to a lot of the Sabi archive, and you know, we were able to foreshadow a lot of what was coming. You know what I'm saying? So with that intent and that purpose, I know me specifically, I was setting up those interviews to ask him the things that I already knew that people will want to know after he was no longer here. I let him speak for himself back then and put it on tape, on archive, because I was like, yo, I'm not finna be up here speaking for Sabi, because it was Sabi versus everybody. You feel me? Sabi was the #1 disruptor. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely was.
It was Sabi or else. He wasn't trying to get along with nobody. But I don't think it was an approach that was antagonistic. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, yo, they don't fuck with me. I don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? But look at my results. Hold on. He was like, look at the results. You feel me? So people don't want to deal with me, right? Just like AA was saying at the lecture, you can't deal with him. How you gonna get to where you need to get to? So Sabi is like, you can't deal with me, but look what I'm coming back with. Look what I'm putting on with. Look at my results. Look what we doing. You feel me? But you can't get past my personality to get to the cure because of the personage, right? I'm a tough pill to swallow, so you're gonna spit the whole thing out. But you need this work. You know? And like I said, you know, ironically enough, we found ourselves here today, 4th anniversary of the elders transition. August 6th, I remember it like it was yesterday. We was in Harlem. We was on 125th, across the street from the Apollo. I remember getting a phone call. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember
we doing the video?
We were getting ready to do a video with Brother Rich.
We were ready to get, and then the phone rang, right?
Yeah, Sarnetta was out there. Polite was on the phone because he was having an issue with Ali or something at that time. Something had popped off, and he wanted to dominate the narrative because he had already known. And he still called and brought his shit up first. I remember that. And I was like, damn, that was weird as fuck. I'm telling you, but you acting like you already knew. But you talking about something that's some Leo shit based on your ego, you know, with what Ali said about you and your daughter or something like that. Anyway, I remember that day. Yeah. Hello? can't hear you, bro.
I'm talking about the signal is not what it used to be.
I can't hear you.
Rest in peace to FPG Duck. We'll talk about that a little later on.
All right. But yeah. But then the cameras came
we'll wait
on.
for Blue Pill to come back
around.
in.
Yeah. The brother be back. I remember them cameras came.
Signal issue. There you go.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother.
That I remember.
Peace, Urban X. Black Dot in the building.
Peace to the dot. Urban Extras as well, right? That's how I go. Yes, Urban Extras. He has another additional channel.
Urban
Make sure that y'all
app.
subscribe to that as well. So, like I said, I was just listening to Sabi tapes in the archive, and he was just stressing the importance of food, you know, and the knowledge of knowing what food is and what food to put in your mouth. And before you could talk philosophy or religion or spirituality, you know, you had to at least have a rudimentary understanding of the importance of why he was talking about alkaline food over blood and starch. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of gems in the KTL archive that speak specifically, you know, the Sabi in his own voice speaks specifically to a lot of the questions that people have today about why he doesn't do this or get along with this person or say this about this organization or any of these things that have kind of mired him in controversy. You know, I always knew that I wasn't willing to be the person up there defending Sabi for the rest of my life. So I was always utilizing those programs as an opportunity for him to speak for himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, you'll find a lot of that in those quite a few interviews that we have with him on Know the Ledge Radio. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are on YouTube. I've been looking at the Dembali crossover episode. Shout out to Lauren Vanderpool. That's when
the
he introduced
crossover one is powerful.
Yeah. You know, shout out to TH3RD on his way to Detroit for the honoring of another master teacher and elder who has fallen in our community, and that is Master Kalindi.
And I was listening to that episode earlier.
Okay.
I just got a phone call that I got cleared to be at the conference as media because I want to be there to document not only our Baba Kalindi's legacy, his master students, and also the very vast psychedelic community that, you know, as I'm traveling on my journey, on my hero's journey, and I am initiating myself into the quote unquote family of, you know, plant medicine. I'm going to surround myself with the community. I'm going to introduce myself and be introduced to the community. So I'll be in Detroit this weekend holding KT, the arts degree, down, and also being there filming and, you know, capturing the moment, capturing and honoring Baba Kalindi's legacy. I want to be there when his legacy is honored, and also remind the family of the archive that he has. He had a very powerful show with us in 2012 that he did. Very, very moving. I was listening to it earlier. So,
right.
You know, salute
Tell
to
him what
him.
the name of that. What's the name of that show?
The name of the show that we did with Baba Kalindi is, hold on, I have it right here.
Is the Magic Mushrooms?
It's the Magical Mushrooms and Martial Mystery featuring Baba Kalindi 8 years ago on Know the Ledge Radio on Blog Talk.
Facts.
On Blog Talk. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can share. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
There you go, right here. Do you see it?
It's coming up now. Yeah, I see it now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there goes the show right there, y'all.
Yep.
You did that?
Yeah, I did that. Mm-hmm.
So, family, especially for the family who loves listening to podcasts. I am falling in love with my audible.com app. I'm loving me some audio books. These shows play out like audio books. These are some of the most powerful podcasts that you can have in your archives, in your whatever system you utilize to listen to your information while you clean up, while you encouraging you to listen to the archive of Know the Ledge Radio on Blog Talk Radio before we remove it. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that's our Baba right there.
So,
and he put it,
yeah. This weekend I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Return of the Gods event. Both events will be taking place on August 8th, Lionsgate, which is technically taking place right now today on the 6th, because this is 15 Degree Leo. His assistant named Wise Royalty. She does a build on that, and I double back and did my research. So technically today is the Lionsgate. The
today.
Hiroshima, this the 6th. You know, Sabi
Okay.
transcended on the Lionsgate. But nonetheless, on the 8th, we will be celebrating here in Atlanta, Georgia, the Return of the Gods. And that is also an event that is honoring, you know, living legends as well as those who have transitioned, you know what I'm saying, to the realm of the ancestors. So that's going to be like a melanated gala, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's going to be lit.
Yeah.
That lineup is kind of strong there.
Yeah. They got a powerful lineup. It's going to be, you know, some amazing people in the building, good energy, you know what I'm saying, very high vibrational, cooking food right now, making CMOS and kale and some other stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm presenting at this event. I'm supposed to be performing at this event, and I'm also putting on, you know, with the goodies, with the food. So Sabi was just re-emphasizing the importance of love and food through, you know, love through food and loving food. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just reorientating myself to that message and commissioning myself to do a good job in that regards, you know, to make sure that I just create the best vibrational food experience for people at this event and enjoy myself and enjoy seeing other people get their acknowledgments, you know what I'm saying, and their accolades and their awards and everything. So
that's right.
it's dope, man.
Well, this event right here, I'm looking forward to my brother TH3RD's presentation. He's going to be doing what he does best, and that is raise the bar with his scholarship and teaching anyone who dares to listen something new.
Without a doubt.
And new ways, you know what I'm talking about? So his presentation on the 8th, the Lionsgate, will be the Beatles, part 1, Kepler, Kappa, Ra, mycology, right? He says, this is from his desk. This is my first live presentation in a while. I can't wait, Detroit. I know y'all coming out. We will be honoring our great ancestor, Baba Kalindi Ayi, at the 2020 Detroit Psychedelic Conference. I will be speaking Saturday, August 8th at 5:30. My lecture is entitled Beatles, Part 1, Kepler, Copper, Ra, Mycology. I'm not going into details right now. Just pull up and get that work. Amanita, whole lot of love. Okay, here's a clue. The answer is right there. For further information, it is at kinetwork.com. KI, or is that KL? It might be klnetwork.com, right? So that's KT. And like I said, I look forward to being there in the building as a student and letting him just do what he do, man. You know, I can't wait. And it's been a while since I've been to the 2016, I believe was the last time at the Steams conference. No, we came back. We came back and did facts about a few months later. We did the facts initiative.
No, and we were out there with the shifters in 2018. Remember
facts.
we passed through
Yeah,
Detroit.
I wasn't with
we
you.
Went to Savers. Oh, okay, you ain't make it.
I didn't make it. So
yeah,
it's beautiful, right? And then the weekend after that, we're gonna be in Jacksonville, Florida, on the ocean, on the sea, on one of the first black-owned beaches in America. Let me share this with you. Let me give y'all this announcement for the Jacksonville family, for the family that's out there. We will be in Florida, land of the flowers, back with our brother Diallo Sekou, who
yes,
you know has been very honorable to us over the years, right? I wonder if Oprah and I wonder if they're gonna be on the beach with us. I'm talking about. I wonder if they pulling up because I wonder if Alice, the Whoopi, and Gail is pulling up because I'll be there. You know. But somebody said they in Duval. Well, goddamn it, pull up. You right there in Duval. Pull up. Bring little Duval with you. Pull up. So on Saturday, August the 15th, the second annual Conscious Campout, right? Pitching a tent on the beach and camping out, right? That's for legends. So we're celebrating Marcus Garvey's legacy. We're going to be reading excerpts from the Philosophies and Opinion. The vendors are welcome. Bring a tent and swimwear. We getting in the water. There's going to be 15-minute workshops dealing with credit building and repair, business creation, real estate, nutrition and fitness, collective economics 101. And the reason why it will be 15 minutes is because we're not trying to do long lectures on the beach. You know what I mean? You get your 15-minute elevator pitch. Need that much time to give the people the information that they need, and then we'll be moving on to the next subject. On the 15th of August, on that Saturday, on American Beach, go and Google American Beach. We're going to camp out on the beach, sunrise yoga and meditation. Now, where we feature in Red and Blue Pill, based off of the work that we've been doing and based off of what I'll be picking to be specific to the tap in. Okay. I'm going to name the tent Mario World or Smurf Village. Okay. And boom, we're going to be live streaming, and the live stream we'll be selling tickets for the live stream. The event on the beach is open to all and it's free 99, right? But for the world that want to participate, we are going to make it available via live stream. You won't be having the whole night. I'm not gonna walk around asking women what bikini that they what who did that? Is that Michael Kors? No, we're not gonna do that. We're going to broadcast the information. We're going to highlight the brothers and sisters who are there, and we're gonna put on, you know. And I want y'all to be in the building.
Yeah. For me, I definitely got to get some time in just to give maybe a 30-minute condensed version of the Corona Rising, because that's Nip's born day, putting on for Garvey in Jacksonville.
Of all places, right?
Of all places on that grid. You know, American
that
Beach
grid is lit.
Yeah, American Beach is it's a beautiful beach. I've been there. I did work there. It's a very clean, clear beach, and it has a historic history behind it as being a melanated beach. And once again, you heard the story a million times over. They burnt this part of the city down, ran the melanated people up out of there, right?
Yes.
pushed them inside the interior of the city, and then they took the beach. Right? Took the coast. So, yeah, took the coastline. So, American Beach is one of those stories. In Jacksonville, which is a very storied city that not enough people know the story of. Not enough people understand the strategic placement of Jacksonville and the things that you can actually get done, from that particular port, or the trajectory of where that port leads to. I'm not going to give too much away. But even for it to be Garvey and him having the Black Star Line and what that port represents in regards or respect to the Black Star Line, all of that is meaningful. All of it is meaningful because Diallo Sekou in 2012 had us coming down to Jacksonville when he was doing the Summit of the Moors, and he was speaking about urban farming. He was speaking about ownership. He was speaking about buying the block. He was speaking about all of these things. He was speaking about security, armed security, all of these things that we see. You know what I'm saying? But he also was speaking about nationality and the importance of, putting these particular pieces of the puzzle right under the right jurisdiction so you can protect it. So we cannot continue to tell these stories about how we got beat over our head and they took the shit that we worked blood, sweat, and tears, many years for, and then they was able to jerk you out of it with the stroke of a pen. You feel me? So
yeah, no good.
Yeah, no good, no bueno. So
No bueno.
it's a very auspicious time to be having such an event. You know what I mean? And shout out to Derek Grace. I hope he pull up.
Yeah, I hope he do too.
You know what I'm saying?
Bring the blickies on the beach.
Yeah, bring the blickies to the beach. You know what I'm saying? The brothers in Florida having a monumental year, really establishing what ownership looks like, what putting on, kinging, guarding looks like, for your family. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Putting your woman on the pedestal, balancing this whole aspect of Leo on the cross has to balance the Cancer and the Virgo, his mother and his woman. Like, this is the test of the king. You feel me? And really, like, putting it down on your own terms. That's king and that's Leo shit. So this brother,
that's definitely Leo.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be 30 on the 20th, on the day of the Corona Rising, and he said that he's going private. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer going to be a public persona. He's going to focus his energy more so on his family and his secret network, his secret society, if you will, the people that's down with you, right? Empowering your network, your consortium. You feel me? So
yeah, I'm marching to that beat.
Yeah, that brother, he just made Forbes. What did they say? Made 1.5 mil in a month. Pumping them post-Trump packs. Relentless marketing. You dig what I'm saying?
Relentless.
There's not a day goes by that I don't get an email. Not a day goes by that I'm on IG and I don't see a post. So, this is what it really means to control the narrative and to build an empire around your life. Just doing what it is that you naturally do. I definitely see Black Dot utilizing those pieces to maximize media and put everybody in the game in his family. He's also a wonderful example of kinging in this era, the Corona Rising. You know what I'm saying? Raising and rising to his full potential. When things are going down, he's going up and he's taking everybody with him. You feel me? This is what it looks like. So
I remember saying before the Corona hit, I think even before 2020 came in, and I was like, what Dot is doing with Malcolm, that's the best podcast on the internet. For reasons that I feel go overlooked. And whenever you see the father-son dynamic, and is able to deal with not just with sports, not just with entertainment, not just with music and whatnot. They're dealing with family. They're dealing with culture. They're dealing with life. And you get comedy, and you get quality, and you get showmanship. Nah, that's the best. That's the best demonstration that we can ask for in a climate where marginalized, not just the deadbeats. They're acting like these men are not even worth living. A man? We don't need a man. We don't need a father. We could have a baby on our own. There's so much disrespect to the black man as a father. Not just the black man, the black father. Because of the shortcomings of fathers who fell, right? Who got trapped off, who got trapped into trap music, right? It was highlighted, or it began to peak in the 60s, right? Did you see the trailer for the Fred Hampton movie?
Nah.
It's called The Black Messiah. It's called The Messiah Judas. The trailer before
Wait, you breaking up?
Get out of here.
So,
it's called The Messiah and the Judas.
Oh, word.
Right? And I know that you were doing a lot of research on that. Yeah, talk back to me.
I got bars
so,
for that. I just wrote something the other day. Yeah.
So when we see the fathers who, like I said, they began to fall, and they fell, a lot of them fell for being a part of the same goddamn culture that their grandchildren have willingly plugged in to play a game of. Being outside, being in the trenches, flirting with death, taking penitentiary chances for that little ass bag that you call that it's like a potato chip bag. You know what I'm talking about? With 3 potato chips in it, full of air.
In it. Yeah.
Wild air. That bag that these Negroes said that they tasted got wild air. Right? And as a result of the shortcomings of the black man in the family structure, he's been completely, I'm talking about when I was in a hospital, I should have had the book Invisible Man with me, bro. Because they were treating me like I was completely, if they were looking through me, bro, like I was not there. They were treating me like I was a non-essential. What? I had nothing to do.
Yeah, you're a non-essential
dealing with
donor.
My son's birth. That's how they wanted.
You're a non-essential donor, my nigga.
Straight like that. I'm dead ass. And
I believe you.
My question to you would be, in what climate, a Democratic one or a Republican one, in what political climate is that narrative really exasperated and pushed down black women's throats, right? And black children's, what climate do you think that is pushed down more? Is it a Democratic one or in a Republican climate?
I was about to say Democratic because that sounds a lot like the Moynihan policy of just ignore the niggas like they don't exist. You know, so who more befitting and telling for them to do that? They're gonna shade the man so they can knock the woman. You feel me?
That's a fact. That's a super fact.
They're gonna shut you out of the argument so they can finesse her and put her in game.
Straight finesse.
You know what I'm saying? And while he's woozing and wowing her, you feel me? And his woman has already planted all of these seeds of dissent in the mind of melanated women by selling her story of feminism, when that's not the melanated woman's story of being victimized by unethical, unequal patriarchy. That was never her story.
Never.
You feel me? She fell for it. And then what? And then once they had him marginalized and separated, and then The white woman made herself accessible to the same black man. And then, you know what I'm saying? They pull up looking at her, the lonely black woman, like she crazy.
She know what I'm talking about.
And then she done lost her noodles as a result from being, you know, fucked from so many different directions. And now they're able
and Karen is scheming. So is Becky.
Yeah, Karen scheming. Karen want to become Becky.
And so is Becky. I need the sisters who are fans of Sex and the City to understand this. Kate, whatever, whoever, what's her name with the nose? Claire. She's not your friend. With the strong face, her face looked like if ammonia was a person. Look how strong her face is. She's not your friend. Sarah Jesse Raphael with the poodle face.
Like if ammonia was a person.
She's not your friend. So once again, our women are being tricked by a deceiver, right? Who is masterful. You have not seen masterful deception until you seen a Karen and a Becky at play. Their men are not. Their men can't hold a flame to them.
Yeah, that's their mama.
That's their mama.
Right? So she taught him the game. Who teach you the game, y'all? You know who teach you the game? Your mama. So she taught him the game. She's the one that's cunning. She's the one that's super observant and listens. You feel me? And she starts dispensing the game piece by piece. Those whispers in the air at night telling him what to do and how to move. Then he execute.
Feeling distress, and the epigenetics of the European, the minute she's in distress, that shit goes right online. The genes kick in because she was in bondage. She was in the harems. She was a concubine to people who were melanated. So anytime she played a damsel in distress, it is a dog whistle for her sons to react. They made a pact. At Ellis Island, when they came over here, they made a pact. They made a pact when they formed Christendom in Europe. They made a pact, and that was to put on for their women. Now, with all of the putting on that they're doing for their women, they have gripes with their women, and it's called a red pill movement. Men going their own way. It's called the incel movement. It's called all of these white supremacist movement that's doing what? They're asking their women to stay with them. They're demonizing white women for not want to be with them. The 14 words that the white supremacists all recite: blood and soil, you will not replace us. All of that stuff that they were doing in Charlottesville, all of their slogans is dealing with genetic survival, and what their women are not is dealing with their women not choosing them. You understand? So they got issues with their woman not being loyal to the soil, and what do? They've demonized, right? They radicalized that, and the spilling of melanin blood has become a quote unquote pastime for them. Right? And even the Beckys that are in the crowd talking about, yeah, get them, hang them. You know what I mean? Secretly, right? Secretly, there's still a level of fetishment taking place. They're like, yo, give me the phallus. I'm finna put it in a jar and pickle it. Why? What do you want his toes for? You know what I'm talking about? Why do you want a piece of the person they just hung and mutilated? If it's not fetishment. So, you know, I don't mean to get graphic, but sometimes you have to paint.
I constantly say to myself, I don't think these people really understand who they're up against. You know, I have to constantly remind myself, damn near every day that I go outside and I make silent observations. You feel me? Yeah. And I be looking at, you know, everybody in game. I'm just the observer, and I'd be like, I really don't think that our people know who they up against, you know, or what they dealing with in the depths of their goals. They're in denial you know, especially this, you know, the political theater, you know, when it goes up there, and somebody who I highly respect as a Dakota, you know, and somebody who has accessibility to the tools to come to conclusions, you know, to help to snap you out of it. You know, this person was telling me the other day, like, I really don't think that stuff is true that they saying about these politicians when it comes to the sex abuse and child molestation. And I'm like, what? You feel me? And that threw me in a flux.
So
So I'm
game.
like, no, I'm just saying.
Fam.
And the person kind of told himself, and they made a good point. And the good point that they made is that, oh, we should focus more on the abuser that's in family and you know, right next to the children and in house and the uncle and all of these things. And I'm like, yeah, all of that is true as well. But again, that does not denote the fact that this other thing is not happening, because if you don't approach it and you don't expose it or you don't put it in proper perspective, people are relinquishing their freedoms. They're relinquishing their quote unquote hope for tomorrow, which everything else is built on. You know what I'm saying? And the determination, all of that shit is rested in the outcome of the November elections. You feel me? And that's denial. To not want to confront something that's really making you uncomfortable internally. This shit goes beyond Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not the main source of your problems, and you're not going to marginalize what it is that we're going through as a people and personify it in one person to be like, oh, we're going to vote this problem out of existence. That ain't how the shit works. You feel me? So where's the more proactive plans of saying, we fed up and we not going to take this no more? And that shit does not begin and end in a voting booth. You feel me? At a time like this when they're talking about Operation Warp Speed and everything else, and niggas being the viable candidates to get a needle in your arm, a grown ass man, right, getting a needle in your arm like you a toddler, let alone being able to defend your toddler from getting a needle in his arm or her arm. These conversations are not being taken place. And again, people are being lulled to sleep with political theater. And like you said in your post, oh my God, I feel sorry, America. Y'all is fuck.
But
You
America
forced to really, literally pick between dumb and dumber. Right? Idiocracy. And this is the march. This is the game that you find yourself in. You feel me? Yeah. But Terry Crews is the president. That's idiocracy.
It's super Hegelian. It's super Hegelian. They have put you in a trick bag that, you know, if you participate in it, you a trick baby. The political theater, the way that they turned this shit up post George Floyd, I mean, they are masterful. Technology, their fear mongering, and the fact that they know what buttons to push in the American public's head. They control the fucking masses with fear and with provocation and with a bunch of emotional triggers and whatnot. If you watch Fox,
which statistically said is what? The number one viewed news channel or whatever.
Yeah, facts. Yo, Tucker Carlson, right? The same Tucker Carlson who's lead senior staff writer, right? His lead writer, the one who writes all of his material, he got outed. He was utilizing a pseudonym on all of these chat rooms and, you know, online boards and whatnot. A raving lunatic white supremacist. I'm talking about he had problems with everything. So his ghostwriter, his pen, Tucker Carlson's pen, is, you know, super duper racist. Like as if we didn't know this. Bill O'Reilly, Roger Ailes, who is the who's basically the boss. All of them have sexual, not allegations. They got out of court payments. I mean, they were doing Bill Cosby type of things, right? They're still broadcasting though. They didn't take down all of the O'Reilly reports. When you go into the goddamn Barnes and Noble, this nigga's an author. He's writing books for what? You know what I mean? They didn't take his books out the store. They didn't marginalize the Fox News empire with all of the crimes that they committed, with all of the blood that they have on their hands for what they did to the Middle East. Nobody has held them accountable. So now, because of the whole Democrat, adrenochrome, they eating children spirit cooking, and now the Republicans are the saviors and shit. Now these niggas, now they jumping out of planes with the Fortnite parachute, and they got an elephant on it. That's how desperate the people have become.
So Trump is a hero and ask the segments of the black community, because once again, the Stockholm syndrome, I mean, they are that. I mean, the shit is crazy, bro. I can't even. But I mean, it really speaks to psychological issues of denial and unwillingness to do some real shit to get yourself out of a real predicament, right? And you see it on both sides. Black people is pussy on both ends.
Or it speaks to the unwillingness, and we spoke about this earlier, of the individual, right? To do what? To take charge of his or her journey, right? And to utilize these catalysts as markers, but to still be, because if you're on your journey and you see the world falling apart, it should reinforce the journey. It should not create a mentality where you're like, I'm going to be a vagabond. I'm not going to contribute anything to society because I just watched a video that said that they're eating children at Walt Disney. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take my whole life. I'm not going to want to be prosperous. I'm not going to monetize my passions. I'm not going to want to be a better version of myself, because I've discovered that there's people out there that are bad. So I'm going to spend my whole life trying to tell you that these people are bad while I'm eating chitlins, pork rinds. You know what I'm talking about?
Hot chips, yeah.
While I'm selling bussy on OnlyFans and shit. Like y'all got to understand, it's the same thing with the people wearing masks, taking hits of K2, putting the mask on and saying, you don't have a mask on. You're
jeopardizing my life.
Jeopardizing my health. Like, bam.
Yeah.
You're a fucking walking virus. What are you talking about? Jeopardize your health. If COVID was a person, it would be you. How dare you look? You got people in New York, Blue, their jeans is sagging, and now the mask is sagging. Niggas got sagging mask in New York. What's the purpose of wearing a mask if it's not over your goddamn nose, fam? Niggas' mask is.
Because at this point, it's an accessory. It's a symbol. You know? Just something that you don't leave home without.
It's the new fanny pack, Blue.
It's the new fanny pack.
Niggas should make They should make fanny pack masks with the the clip on in the back. I think I might get in the lab.
Yeah, the zip right here. Your change, Metro card and your change can go in your mouth.
That's a fact.
Whack. But look, bro.
Because you be forgetting the mask. What if they had the septum with the mask attached to it? Niggas need something to remind them of a mask. What if they had a mask, a shirt with a collar, and it's a mask tucked in it? So when you go into the store, they be like, "Did you have your mask?"
Yeah, they got those already.
Oh, they got those?
They got those already. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they got the mask on the shirt, like how, you know what I'm saying? But that's a
Yo,
design plan.
hold on. This shit is real, bro. These niggas snuck all the way onto YouTube with the Forex game. I used to see this shit on Instagram. They snuck all the way onto YouTube with the Forex. This look, it's another one. These niggas is relentless. Look at them. What the fuck? This nigga name is Maya Jones, and look at the avatar. It's a Russian bot.
But look,
Let me
bro.
block this nigga. Let me put Maya in a block party.
Yeah, I am in prep mode. You feel me? So I do need to get back to the.
That's right. I ain't gonna be here long because I got to get ready for Detroit. So please leave us with some parting words about the good doc. I ran and grabbed this book earlier because
did you read from it?
I just grabbed it when you came, right? I never read from this book ever, and I got a chapter in it. And you think I should read from it now?
Yeah, I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah. So shout out to Mr. G. He signed it.
Shout out to Mr. G.
Oh, look. What that date say?
Tell me. I think okay.
It says 8/8/2019. I went and got this book after I did the Bufu. After I did the Bufu with Hank, I went through the Lionsgate. And thank you for the invite. And
you already.
This book, there's a chapter called Finding Philip. I'm thinking about launching a podcast with that very name, called Finding Philip. And the podcast will be, we're gonna do a podcast together, but this podcast will basically be a nostalgia podcast where I'm gonna be interviewing people from my walks of life. This is about finding Philip. So because we forget things. You know what I'm saying? I've been on this planet for 44 years, so I'm still finding myself.
Word is born. Like I had a conversation the other night with JP.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much shit that so much shit that I just forgot. You feel me?
Right?
I was like,
I was talking to Uzi.
For real. Son just running through shit. I was like, it's crazy.
So much stuff. You know?
So much.
So much bars. So this is chapter 18. Of that's me. And the whole story about how he met Mr. D.
Your phone cracking up again. Your phone, bro.
I have my
your phone. His shit froze on your side. You go to the chat. Bad connection. Okay, it's froze up. All right, the brother will be back shortly. But again, if you don't have that book, this would be a wonderful time to go and check out the book. All right, Dr. Sebi's book. What's the name of the book again, Brad?
My Journey with Dr. Sebi. My Journey with Dr. Sebi. I'm reading this because I'm highly encouraging the family to go and get the book. The audio book is TH3RD, I believe, doing the audio. Once again, going back to the audio books, which is a great alternative for brothers and sisters that are busy out there. This is something for the children to do homeschooling, right? I'm not sending my son back for his senior year. We decided we're gonna continue to homeschool him. This is gonna be on his assignment to read, right? So like Blue said, you don't gotta wait for the documentary to come out. You could go right to the book.
Facts.
Chapter 18. I remember asking Dr. Sebi what got him excited, and he would be excited by just about everything, really. But one day, he said it would be good if I could find a young man that he was looking for. After Sebi brought it up the first time, he made it a point to ask me to look for the young man in every city that we went to for lectures. Throughout the lectures in Philly, New York, Atlanta, and Michigan, he asked me to look for a young man named Philip. I asked him what state that man was in, and he said the last time I heard he was in New York. Sebi didn't give me a full name or a location. He just said that he was in New York. When we got to New York, I was looking for Philip, and Dr. Sebi spoke to someone on the phone who told him that they thought Philip was in Atlanta, right? Because nobody don't know where the hell I am at any time. I don't know why. When we got to the lecture in Atlanta, I asked my family and friends if they knew a guy named Philip that was Dr. Sebi's friend. Everyone I asked said that they did not know who Philip was. At the time, I didn't even have a description of what Philip looked like. I didn't know if he was tall or short, old or young. I knew who Philip was. So I asked Dr. Sebi what he wanted to discuss with Philip. He didn't really tell me what he wanted to discuss with him. He just said, I want to make sure that everything is okay with my boy. The search for Philip went on for a while. We went to Detroit, we went to New Jersey, we went to a lot of other states. No one knew who Philip was, or at least I couldn't find out who Philip was. Then Dr. Sebi passed away, and in my mind I thought, damn, I'm never going to find this Philip kid. After that, I did an interview with Black and Nobel in Philadelphia with Hakeem and the crew. Shout out to Hakeem.
Shout out.
Hakeem told me about a guy named Red Pill. He said Red Pill was a good brother and that he and I needed to hook up because Red Pill knew a lot in the business. Hakeem gave me Red Pill's number, and when we talked on the phone one night, Red Pill told me what he did, and I ended up spending the next day with him in Harlem. I watched him make t-shirts and clothes. He's a designer and a motivational speaker. The next day, we were talking on the phone.
Shirts?
Yeah, I make shirts. The next day, we were talking on the phone, and Red Pill said, Gee, I really like your energy. To continue working. I could tell why Sebi liked you. You're really easy to get along with, and your energy is just dope. Is there anything that you regret not doing with Dr. Sebi? And then Mr. G said, Yeah, I was looking for his son, Sasa, and we found Sasa in Brooklyn, but he was also looking for this guy named Philip. And I feel like I let him down. I feel like I'm kind of disappointed, and I wasn't able to produce Philip because I was trying to get this super producer for him and make everything happen. Red Pill got really quiet. The guy's name is Philip, and he has a brother named Paul. He also has a younger brother named Kamani. Red Pill was still real quiet. I said, You good? What's going on? Are you there? He said, Yeah, man, I am Philip. I was shocked. I said, Is your mama's name Annette Thomas? He said, Yes, sir. I have a twin brother, Paul. We call him Blue Pill. And my younger brother's named Kimani. And we call him KT the Arch Degree. So, you mean to tell me that I'm looking for Philip and all of this time Red Pill is Philip? Yes. I was at the Brooklyn seminar. I wanted to go speak, but I thought he was mad at me. End of the chapter. That's not the end of the chapter as far as I'm going. Because I had to go and get the book. Now, to add some context to what it is that the brother was talking about, we came to the lecture that Baba Dr. Sabi was having in Brooklyn, New York, right?
Right. After, remember, I went to the one in Philly.
No, I went there with you too, Blue.
Oh, you
we
was
were
there?
vending there.
Okay. Yeah, we were vending.
We were vending there, right? And when I went to go, because that was Black and Nobel put it on, and we had lost contact with Dr. Sabi for a few years prior to that, right? He was in Honduras. He didn't know about Red Pill. He was on a radio show.
Yeah, it wasn't a few years. It might have been a year,
Might
because
have
I
been a
had
year.
just, me and him separated in Los Angeles, maybe 2015 or something like that, like 2014, 2015. It wasn't that long, but I hadn't seen him in 8 or 9 months or what have you. He was doing like a 45 or 90-day fast. So he didn't even look like, that's the day he collapsed on the stage in Philly, right? And I ran in the front. Police bodyguard was there. The brothers from Jersey. They caught him.
Yeah.
Propped him up. I didn't go on stage because I didn't want to alarm him. Because the last time we seen each other, you know what I'm saying? That in the lecture circuit is not the place that we needed to see each other, have the conversation that we needed to have. So
that's a fact.
I acknowledged him. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Nah, you do your thing. You know.
No,
it was just a weird time.
We came to Brooklyn. Brooklyn was weird. Because the coordinators of the event didn't get something together. So there was some weird energy when we got in there. Everybody, and it was packed. People was hanging off of the rafters, but they didn't get the charge at the door. So Sabi was not getting paid. So even though he was putting his, he was giving the people what they came to see, I could tell that he wasn't giving it his all because it wasn't put together the right way. Now,
and
that was the Masonic Lodge.
There's a story to talk about that.
Yeah, that was the Masonic Lodge in Brooklyn, right? My mother had brought him there 2 or 3 times before that, prior. You feel me? I'll leave it at that. You tell the story if you want.
So at the Brooklyn event, basically Sabi called off the event. He was like, I'm not moving forward. He had a super duper issue with the promoter, so he deaded the event. So then mad people rushed the stage and rushed the backstage. And to be honest with you, because of all of that energy, even in Philadelphia when they was bum rushing and everything, I just kind of fell back because that's not the energy that me and Dr. Sabi. It's a more personal, intimate type of energy. I let the people do what they do. It's almost like if you go to a concert and people is on a rock star stuff, I don't get involved in that.
Yeah.
So
and in Brooklyn in particular, that's where I seen him and Sassar connect. So again, out of deference, because you know what the moment means, if you know the situation, you fall back. You like, yo,
let it do what it
you let it do what it do. Look, that's Sassar's moment. Let Sassar have that. He need to connect with his daddy. Fell back.
That's
right?
a fact.
Because you like, shit, I'm going to see him. You know what I mean? I'm going to see him.
So, facts. So, one can imagine the pain. One can imagine I was haunted for a while. I felt Dr. Sabi trying to look for me. I felt the energy of him calling for me. There was some things that we had to talk about. And then when he made transition, I'm out here stuck, and I'm not going to get into the whole theory of how people were sabotaging us who were around him, who didn't tell him, oh, nah, that's Red Pill. That's my man. Like, I could call him right now. I'm not even going to get into all of that. all I'm gonna say is, as a result of him making transition, and there's certain things that that this book speaks of. It's my duty now, right, and my initiation to go and find Dr. Sebi. It's almost like search for Spock. There are modalities and there are ways for me to have the conversation with his spirit, and to sit at his feet one more again, and to receive the information, because I feel like what he was to give me is the kind of gems that I needed to take me further into this journey that I'm on, So in the spirit realm is where we'll be able to meet and have this conversation. But man, go and get that book. It's about 4 more pages and whatnot. I have a mini chapter in there that I wrote, my experiences in the book as well. And like I said, I'm not reading from the book because buying our elder, we are edifying his soul, we are edifying his message, we are edifying his spirit, right? So the continuation or the continuance of his works, which is to heal the people. I'm not a herbologist, I don't necessarily create elixirs and whatnot. My version of healing the people is by administering the red pill, waking people up from their stupor, shocking and awing them, smacking them out of their sleep, you know what I mean, unplugging them from the matrix. That's my form of healing. And it's like AA said, if you can't get past red pill, how could you get past, how do you think you're going to go down the road of perdition? How do you think you're going to get to the place that you need to be in your quote unquote evolution and whatnot? And you can't get past a little bit of profanity and some hot and some heat. No. Get past that. That's frivolous. That's the surface. That is not even real. Get past that energy and get into something that's going to benefit you. So, I just bring that up to say I still miss him. I miss him badly. I mean, I'm adamant. I'm militant when it comes to, people not taking advantage of his image and his name, and at the end of the day, it is what it is, and people gonna do what they do. They're gonna do what they do, bro. So it's up to us to tell the story the right way, to stand on it, because I won't waver, and to make sure that we continue to edify the person who is tethered to his story, and that's Mama Pill. You know what I'm talking about? Because whatever Dr. Sebi wanted to talk about, it has something to do with Mama. She's always a part of that story. It wasn't me personally. He met me because of her, and I met him because of her. So she's the most important piece in this whole puzzle, and she's with us.
Yeah, even down to the documentary. This is a story really of 3 individuals, of which we are just the supporting cast, but it's Mama, Sebi, and Ma'a, and it was just a few children. It was me, Red, Weewa, Sasar, and Usha. And that was it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I remember. I don't remember nobody else is popping up now on the scene. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. There's other people who come in and out of the picture. You feel me? But they're not permanent cast members. The permanent cast
of the season, because we all watch Netflix. We know about season 4, 5, 6, 7.
Permanent cast will fit inside of a sprinter.
Facts.
That's it.
The season of his life with the Supreme Court case, the season of his story with the celebrities before, around the time with Magic Johnson, and the celebrity clients, the Usha Institute, going from Brooklyn to DC to ATL to MIA. That segment, those seasons, like Blue Pill said, there is a specific cast. There are specific players. There are specific main actors. Yeah, the Lisa Lopez time as well. That was around that time. Somebody said, "Where's the movie?"
That's a whole nother season. Lisa Lopez is a whole nother season.
Lisa Lopez,
Michael
yeah, Lisa
Jackson,
Lopez.
that's a whole nother season.
That's a whole nother
These
season.
are
That's
whole nother seasons. That's a whole nother story.
That's a
fact.
a
whole nother Sabi. You feel me? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not the Sabi season. We're talking about the Supreme Court case.
Talking about going from St. Croix to New York, setting up shop in Brooklyn. Court case. After short period, and then there's mad gaps, and then we reunite later on in 2000, and we ride it all the way out until, you know, his transition. So, and that's the narrative. So all these other people that's coming, that's part of the story, that's forcing themselves inside of the story. Look, I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? I am honored to meet some of his children though, because he got a lot of children. You know what I'm saying? Victor is doing his thing. Shout out to Victor. I know the Sabi would be very proud seeing Victor do what Victor do. How he do it. He gets around. He don't even know English. You feel me? And his he been to more states than Red.
And I've been to a lot of states.
That's my point. This young man, you know, he be on.
Have you been following? Have you been following the Nipsey Hussle case? I know that it's going down.
I have been following bits and pieces of it, yes, but I haven't gotten a clear correspondence to it. You know, there's nobody out there doing it day by day, beat by beat. So when I catch it in the newspaper, bits and pieces of it, that's all I'm catching. You know, but I already see that it's like they lining it up for the clothesline. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because the shit, it don't make sense. Like, it rattles my brain trying to keep up with things that don't make sense. It's very contradictory. It sounds like a lot of loophole gaps, and you know, it's like they setting the stage to open that back door and let homie out. You feel me?
Really? That's the energy that you feel on that?
Yeah, I mean, because it's just a lot of gaps and holes and things that can't intelligibly be answered. You know, it's a, I don't know if, you know, it's a visual mind fuck. You know, you're seeing things that you're not seeing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, bro. But there needs to be.
Somebody said a YouTuber is covering it. Shout out to Hempblade.
Oh, shout out to Hempblade. Shout out to the family. Yeah, if a YouTuber is covering it, I would love to know the name of that YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? So we could tap in and find some things out.
Somebody said that people testifying is helping dude out. Now, if there's I'm not even gonna get into it because, you know, like Blue said, it is very sticky. Are gang members taking a stand and testifying against another gang member for a gang killing, even if it was a Nipsey Hussle? What is the gang rules, right? That overrides the federal court or the state court. You cannot get on the stand and tell on another gang member. That's for, I mean, I'm not in the gang. But last time I heard, that's not how it works. So the impetus is to let him out because gang is going to take care of gang, right? The same way that they, you know, I mean, you could see what's his name? Shitty Cuz and Tekashi running down the alley together. Right? And once again, rising power to FGB Duck. What did I do? I went right to iTunes and listened to his last song. And I was like, oh, okay. What did I say on Tuesday's show? You cannot speak about the dead. It is sacred. You have to be very careful. If you do speak about the dead, you gotta be spirit up. You gotta be not just prayed up. You got to be spirited up. And you talking crazy, you got to be spirited up. And death will find those who speak it and seek it. So, like I said, his very last song, I heard the song, and I still pay homage to God. I threw up a RIP on him. And I was like, I understand that this is gang related. You know? This the moon, the Aries moon, it had a lot of things popping off. The brother got killed in Chicago. The Beirut had it explode.
It was an Aquarius moon. It was on the Aries day, and Mars is at home in Aries. It's a lot of Aries
That's
energy.
right.
Not an Aries.
No. I mean Aquarius moon at home in Aries. A lot of energy. A lot of planets are being squared. Uranus. You know what I'm saying? It was a powder keg. I said it on Tuesday morning. I said the ingredients is a powder keg. Watch out for the explosions. And the next day, there was the explosion. Now I woke up to seeing explosions in China, right? Because they glossed over that. And then the Lebanon explosion, which was looked like a mini nuke and what. Yeah. They put the fireworks next to ammonium nitrate. I said, Dr. Sebi strikes again because he told you eating lamb will calcify the pineal. If they over there in Lebanon doing dumb shit like that, bro, they put a fireworks facility next to an ammo. Yeah, that pineal is they eating too much camel burgers. They sniffing sand. Somebody is they wearing that mask, breathing in all of that halal. So I'm like, fam, they a little bit touched over there because that don't make no sense. If they was my op, I would be like, y'all just gave me. I mean, come on, they just giving the enemy because if the enemy, let's say that they had an enemy that droned them and they pulled up the map and was like, look at these retards right here. Like it's like a Geico commercial. The enemy won't get caught because if they could prove that you had a fireworks holding facility next to an ammunition block, you gotta eat that. You gotta won yourself. That's a layup. That's a layup. So as above, so below. I'm not even looking into because I don't care about what happened on the ground. The hurricane, the shit came out of nowhere to show you that the European he's not God, because where I live at, they did not have a hurricane warning. They did not have a tropical. They did not know that the shit was going to fly through there the way that it did. Because if they knew that it was going to cause the kind of damage that it did, look at New York. There was trees that was crushing buildings. All of these older trees falling on cars and all of that. That's that moon at work. That was that power, that moon getting busy. So as above, so below. That energy is still here, fam. Y'all could tap into it. You know what I'm talking about? That energy is very much still here. We're going on a 2-hour mark. So I feel that it's time for us to make our grand exit. This was a good show. For all of the brothers and sisters who want to get the last week show that I did a lecture with Billionaire PA entitled Healthy and Wealthy. That's going to be available on teachable.com. We're not going to be emailing lectures anymore. You're going to have to go on teachable.com and watch it. Okay. And unfortunately, it's $4 tag. For everybody that gave the $44, you will receive a link. So you'll go and be able to watch the content. And we have 454. No, it's not even 444. Well, yeah, the $444 course, that's 50% off. And that's available to 44 people. You're going to have to jump on top of that. You know what I'm talking about? If not, you're going to have to pay the full price. So shout out to Billionaire. We're gonna do a 4-week course, and it's gonna be dealing with business and business only. So for anyone that was in the class that we done on Sunday, you know we delivered, and you know that you know that's my bag, that's my niche. I'm about to pivot up out of all of the conspiracy theories and a lot of this other stuff. Not to take anything away from it, because that's foundation. But I found a new passion, something that I'm passionate about, and I'm gonna stand on that. That's empowerment. You know what I mean? And that's solutions. And that's teaching the people stuff that'll make them better people. I'm into that right now. So I'm gonna stand on that, and I'm gonna pivot into that lane, and I'm gonna occupy that lane strongly. So I'm saying all to say this. I want to end it with a grand announcement. The biggest announcement is that we will be back in Atlanta, right? Back in the A. KTL is definitely in the ATL. We told you at the last lecture that we're going to continue this, and the family said unanimously that they doing. We are bringing Black August to the A, and we will be doing something on August the 30th. Right now, I'm not too sure who else is on the bill, but right now, I know that I'll be on the bill. Your brother Red Pill will be on. I'm in negotiations with a special guest, and I will let you know how that works and who we're going to be bringing on board to be with the family. All right. I would love for my brother Cambada to be with me. It's going to be a 2-day event. We're going to mix entertainment and we're going to mix education in the event. All right. Those tickets will be available in the description box for that event. Get your early bird ticket, because, like I said, when we announce our special guest, we definitely have to go up. All right. So that is available to the family right now. That's going to be the Black August. That's August 30th. That's in Atlanta. To be at the location is to be announced. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing it in the same place that we did our last. Running out of space, and we want to accommodate the family and have them. I don't want y'all to be on top of each other. So stay tuned. We will be doing more promotions for the 30th. KTL and the ATL in Atlanta. All vendors, hit me up. Anybody that wants to vend, let me know what your business is, and we will put you in contact with the brothers and sisters that you need to be in contact with. But know that we're going to be bringing music. We're going to be bringing entertainment. We're going to be bringing workshops. We're going to be bringing food to Atlanta on the 30th. Pull up, be in the building. KTL and the ATL. The lecture is entitled Black August, Dog Star Sirius Rising. Another highlight of what's taking place in the Cosmo. Another highlight of what's taking place on the timeline and the stories and whatnot. And a continuation of the conversation that was started with the DMT lecture. So I look forward to seeing the brothers and sisters in Atlanta, breaking bread with you, rubbing shoulders with the family. And yeah, that's what's up. What song you want to leave the family with, Blue Pill? I was looking for something. I was looking for Iron Man. It's not on YouTube.
It's on. It's not. It should be.
Nah, I'm gonna throw it in there. I was looking for it.
That's unfortunate.
Let me look for one more again. Iron Man, Blue Pillar, Dr. Sabi. But if I don't find that, you have a request?
Yeah, I don't know. You got to figure it out. 24 hours or something.
Okay. All right, let's see. I'm scrolling through there right now. So yeah, Detroit, I will see you. Atlanta, y'all will get up with Blue this weekend. KT will be in the D next week. Jacksonville, Florida, Land of Flowers for your healing, your unwinding, and your tapping into Mama Earth, with the elements. Um, yeah, man, it's not. Anything you want to leave them with, Blue?
That's about it. Peace, love, and light to the family. Thank you for joining us. For anybody that did miss the DMT lecture and you want to get a replay, $45 to $Blue Pillar 44. That's on Cash App. Blue Pillar 44. Put your email in there, and we will shoot you a link to the DMT lecture. Other than that, me and Brother Rich, we have a 7-day Kundalini online retreat going on, a chakra retreat. That is going from September 11th to the 17th. And you can find that on Eventbrite. The link is in my bio on IG as well. You can find a link through more than likely Black Magic 363's YouTube. Any of those available links. Other than that, I think that's about it. Goldwater.com, of course. This is the year of gold. I mean, this is the month of gold, the AU month.
That's right.
Shout out to the Goldwater family. All right, we got some new announcements coming up very shortly. Excited about that.
That's right.
And yeah, other than that, y'all, peace, love, and light. New music on the way. Me and Red is working on something for his project. So yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah, there y'all go right there. BlackAugust.Eventbrite. That's the link. Black. I took the vowels out. BlackAugust.Eventbrite, so it could be easier to type in. Go and get your ticket. Don't wait last minute because it will. The ticket is gonna double. So go and get your early bird ticket. And like I said, this whole month, this whole Black August month, this whole Jason month, this Dog Star Sirius month, we're gonna be getting very busy. This is a wind down of the summer. It's been a very beautiful summer for us, and hopefully it's been a beautiful summer for you as well. And we just want to remind y'all, got 24 hours. All you got. What would Sabi do?
All I got is 24 hours. Live and die in 24 hours. What is really age but the same day looping in the phase of just 24 hours. If your neighbor does more with the same 24, gotta ask yourself, what is your power? Are you living for the struggle or honor? Shit'll make a nigga summon forefathers. I'm just thankful that my mother brought fodder. Should've brung a double dozen more flowers on the pure sour. Smoking through my last 24 hours. Same sun and moon, tug of war drama. Building made of ice like a glacier might calibrate it the way I like. Count to 24-hour hand, rotated twice, day or change the night. Mother Nature and Father Time had a baby and they named it Christ. Their only son, I hope they raise him right. Daughter too, her name is Luna, but they ain't alike when sun is down. You see her rising to her greatest height. Feel like E.T. on his flying, levitating bike. You'll see my shadow on the moon, cause I'm living like I made a shine, yeah. First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night. I'm just narrating what I see inside. Thanking my creator, I created right. Stumbled on my path, I think I need a ride. Struggle in the silence, bring my evil side. Swallowing my ego and I eat my pride. Fighting to the end until I see the bride.
I'll be mad if you ain't at my wake. In a race, blasting faith and some past the mace. Throwing bricks, wrap the mask and tape. Kick me from the fifth down to Astor Place. Let me see the grin on the bastard's face. I'm coming from the kin of the master race. Next to Nipsey in the master's race. I know the code, so I crack the safe. Bury me with Savvy in his casket late. And we own her, so our master's safe. Bury me in polo with a gat on waist. Victory is sweet, I need an aftertaste.
First you see the dark and then you see the light. Then you see the day and then you see the night. I'm just narrating what I see inside. Thanking my creator, I created right. Stumbled on my path, I think I need a ride. Struggle in the silence, bring my evil side. Swallowing my ego and I eat my pride. Fighting to the end until I see the bride.